I'd like to look at Matthew 14, 26 through 31. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, "It is a spirit." And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, "It is a spirit," and they cried out for fear. But straightway Jesus spake unto them, saying, "Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid." And Peter answered him and said, "Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water." And he said, "Come." And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, "Lord, save me." And immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand, and caught him, and said unto him, "O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt?" The definition of faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. You can find that in Hebrews 11:1. Faith is the connecting power into the spiritual realm, which links us with God. Whenever you're with God, He's not going to fail you. Without faith, do you believe that a whopping 87% would simply say yes, they believe in God, based off a 2019 poll? In Matthew 14, 27 through 29, Peter wasn't testing Jesus. He did this because he had faith. He was the only one willing to react to his faith. To maintain your faith when situations are difficult, you have to keep your focus on God's power, because God will never fail you. The origin of the word faith. The word faith generally corresponds to the Greek noun pistis or Greek verb pistou, meaning to trust, have confidence, be reliable, and to assure. Faith is described as initiative truth, which means a gift from God, also one of God's uncreated energies. When you put your trust in God, God will bless you, because He has so much to bless you with. Faith is not static, but it causes one to learn more about God. Because if you are willing to listen, then God will not fail you. You can't maintain true faith unless you first know who your faith is in. If you don't have faith, then you have never believed in God. Therefore, meaning you don't know who your faith is in. What faith can do for us? By faith, we can see the earth was made out of God's command. This earth was put here when God put all the pieces together. There's some people that think there was a big bang and it just all happened and it was put together. But that's not how it happened. This was all given to us at God's command. Faith can bring you healing, prosperity, peace, love, joy, deliverance, sanctification of the mind and emotions. And if you look in 1 Peter 1, 8 through 9, it says, "Whom having not seen ye love, and whom thou now ye see him not, yet believing ye rejoice with joy unspeakable, full of glory, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls." Faith brings you these things because when you trust in God, He is all these things, and He has all this to offer for you. Faith can take away fear because God has a plan for everybody. His will, His way, it doesn't matter because it's all going to be done through Him. And faith gives you a purpose to believe that God is real. Because when you have faith, you'll know that your trust is in God. Faith brings an answer to prayer, therefore a key. whenever you have faith that God will answer your prayers, you don't care how long it takes because you know he's going to answer it. If you look in Matthew 21, verse 22. In all things whatsoever you shall ask in prayer, believing you shall receive. That just means, like I said, if you believe God's going to answer that prayer, he's going to answer that prayer. Faith can strengthen a ministry or study group or whatever you participate in. Because it doesn't matter if you like the person sitting next to you, if you don't like the preacher up here, or it doesn't matter. God has put you where he put you for a reason, and he's not going to move you unless he wants to move you. Look in Matthew 17, 19 through 20. Then came the disciples to Jesus apart and said, Why could not we cast him out? And Jesus said unto them, Because of your unbelief. For verily I say unto you, if you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, Remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Through God, nothing is impossible. You have it all. God has called me and Brother Kenneth, both at young ages, to come up here before y'all and preach before. And if we can step out on faith, then surely y'all can too. Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me. Look in Psalms 23, all 6 verses. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Before I finish that verse out, that right there means when you have God, he's going to bless you with so much that you're going to have too much. Well, not too much, because it's never too much, but it's just going to be so much that you barely know what to do with it. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Everything belongs to God. It doesn't matter where you run, where you hide. It doesn't matter. He's going to find you no matter where you go, because it all belongs to God. So, no matter what, he'll get his way. Step out on faith.